Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you could all come over and grab a seat, find a comfortable place to stand that isn't in a divot, and we'll all get comfortable here. Good morning, my name is Sonny Chickering. I'm the Oregon Department of Transportation Region 2 Manager, and it's my pleasure today to be a bit of a master of ceremonies today. I'll be introducing several speakers who will be talking about this wonderful project. And I'm sure, as all of you, we're very happy to be here to celebrate what has been a long-awaited groundbreaking ceremony for this very important project. For your information, by the way, all of us are standing here on land that's owned by ODOT, and it's going to be part of the actual project alignment. It'll be going basically through the spot where you're all sitting and standing. And when it's all done, we're going to have a two-lane bypass that's going to relieve traffic issues for our local communities and provide a much improved capacity for traffic and travel in our region. Before I introduce today's speakers and we do our commemorative groundbreaking, there are a couple things I'd like to mention. I want to thank those members of the news media who are here today. And following the program, many of our dignitaries and local officials are going to be available for interviews and questions. So please hang around for that. And to start our program, we're very fortunate today to have two members of the Grand Ron Canoe family who will perform their blessing song. And they'll be over here to my right. Thank you very much. It's very fitting that the tribe was here today and participating in this, and you'll hear more about their involvement in the project as our program progresses. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Matt Garrett, the Director of the Oregon Department of Transportation.
I thought he forgot my name. I was a little worried. I will tell you, I have been with the Oregon Department of Transportation since 1997. And I've had the privilege of attending a lot of groundbreakings, a lot of ribbon cuttings. I have never seen anything like this in terms of the turnout. And I think what that does is it represents the importance of this project to these communities, if not the whole of the state of Oregon. So this is extremely impressive, folks. I want to begin by welcoming and thanking Congressman Bonamici, Senator George, Senator Starr. These are two transportation champions as far as I'm concerned. Representative Thatcher, appreciate you being here. Commissioner Leslie Lewis. Without peer, no one more dedicated to this effort than Leslie Lewis. Mary Stern, another leader in this community and strong relationships with the Department of Transportation. We have mayors, Mayor Andrews, Mayor Crawford, Mayor Olson, and to show you how far the reach is, Mayor Anderson of Lincoln City has come here as well. So it is a gateway to that beautiful coastal community. So with that, let me begin by saying good morning. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be here to celebrate the beginning of construction activities for the Newberg Dundee Bypass Phase 1 project. A long time coming, folks, a long time coming. So on behalf of my commission, on behalf of my agency, I can't thank the many people who've been involved, public officials, business owners, citizens, who have showed unyielding support and spent tireless hours on this project, working hand in hand with the Department of Transportation. This goes back to 1998. It has been a positive, productive, and respectful and professional relationship all those years, and there were many times when it could have splintered, to be very honest with you. As I've reflected on this specific day and this specific project, I was reminded of a line at the end of a quotation about a stone cutter. I'm going to read it to you and emphasize the last line. But the quotation goes, "Look at the stone cutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split in two. And I know it was not the last blow that did it, but all that has gone before." And I thought that line, all that has gone before, and I reflect back on this project, all that has gone before to bring us here today. Very important. This project would never have happened without the leadership and immense contributions of Yamhill County, of its cities, of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. I especially want to emphasize the contributions of the Parkway Committee, a group of local citizens and officials who have dedicated themselves to advancing this project with the goal of making their communities healthier, stronger, and more vibrant. I also want to thank the Mid-Willamette Valley Area Commission on Transportation. This is a creation of my transportation department, but the Mid-Willamette Valley Area Commission on Transportation, MWAC as we call it, was the first. And this project was always at the top of the list through all the challenges that we have seen. And then last but not least, I want to thank my friends Emily Lawton, Phil Ditzler at the Federal Highway Administration, and the staff of the Federal Highway Administration that worked very closely throughout the planning and environmental processes. Thank you, Emily. Thank you very much. So our phased approach for building the bypass allows us to complete, and I want to say that again, complete a key segment in 2016. There was a conversation not too many months ago that had us not even starting until 2016. But again, leadership, passion, and dedication. We're going to complete, we're going to be cutting a ribbon. My guess is we'll have a similar amount, if not more, folks, when we cut a ribbon on this great project here. But we will reduce the congestion on 99W. We'll increase the livabilities for the cities here, Newberg, Dundee, and beyond. I think everyone knows that the need for this project was well documented. However, finding the funds to build it was always a major challenge. The importance, and we look at these checks here, and Sonny, cash these checks very quickly, just get them in the bank. But the importance of the local contribution made by Yamhill County, by the cities of Newberg, Dundee, and McMinnville, as well as the tribe, cannot be overstated. They were an important part of the equation. And the federal earmark secured by our congressional delegation. Congresswoman Bonamici is now tip of the spear here, but we go back to Senator Wyden, Senator Smith, Mr. Wu here. And I know we have representatives from the Senator's office, Senator Wyden's office, and Senator Merkley's office here. But it played a key role in enabling us to continue to stay in the game and advance purchase of right-of-way opportunities here. But I submit to you that the major turning point for the project occurred when the Oregon legislature passed the 2009 Jobs and Transportation Act. And you see $192 million came from that act alone. It's the highest allocation of monies specific to any project that was encompassed in the Jobs and Transportation Act. The landmark legislation allowed us to move ahead on projects that had statewide significance, this being one. And allows us to build this first phase of the Newberg Dundee bypass here. Now this is important because when completed, the phase one will include a brand new stretch of highway, 3.5 miles of new highway. That's a rare event, to be very honest with you, that we build a new piece of highway here. So this is significant. We'll connect up with 219 at a signal just about in this area as we speak. And then we'll proceed through South Newberg and connect with 99W just southwest of Dundee. Also, as you look back to Springbrook Road there, we'll upgrade the roadway there, the signal there, to address the additional capacity that will run between 99 and the bypass. So there are many benefits that are associated with this project. I'm going to speak very quickly to 5. First and foremost, it is about jobs. It's about putting our people back to work. And this project, over the life of this project, will create or sustain hundreds of jobs that will have a ripple effect throughout this community, throughout this state. We will also have a healthier piece of infrastructure. We will have reduced congestion. And the bottom line is we look at what will happen immediately after the construction. We'll see about 20% less congestion in Newberg and about 40% less in Dundee. Travel times, very important on so many different levels, but we'll see travel times through Newberg and Dundee reduced by about 50%. So we'll be able to scoot right through or stop and sip some of the grape if you'd like to. Much more relaxed than currently. Increased safety. If you look at this piece of roadway 99, and specifically as we move through the communities here, we see crash rates that exceed statewide averages for similar types of facilities here. So we'll make it much safer for not only the freight that moves through this corridor, but also the families that move through this corridor here. So the bottom line, we will be safer. Livability in the communities will see improvement, again, with reduced congestion. We'll have reduced freight movements because they'll be taking the bypass, reduced noise, improved air quality, better traveling conditions for our pedestrians and our bicyclists as well. And then to end on what I think is extremely important, economic competitiveness. This project will help advantage Oregon firms to move their product to market, be that local, be that statewide, or be that international. So let me conclude by saying that this project just didn't happen. These types of projects are made to happen by very dedicated and passionate individuals. I want to thank and congratulate each and every one of you today, including the community. This is about you. This is your project. But I want to thank you for your perseverance, your patience, and your determination to make today a reality. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker will be representing Governor John Kitzhaber. Lynn Peterson is the governor's policy advisor on transportation and sustainable communities.
Good morning. As the former chair of Clackamas County Commission, I was having a flashback to the moment in the 2009 legislative session where Commissioner Lewis and I worked the halls of the legislature together to make sure all of the JTA projects happened, including this one, and I just want to say I'm very proud to have worked with her side by side on that. Also, as a former commissioner, I want to also recognize the decades of former mayors who are in the audience. We have former mayor of Newberg, Mayor Cox. Mayor Cox. We have the former mayor of Dundee, Mayor Worrell. We have the former mayor of Dundee again, Don Sundin. All of you worked on this project for decades. And we have the present county commissioner, Kathy George, as well. And I just want to acknowledge her presence because the George family certainly has worked for a long time on this project to make it happen and get it right. So it is a pleasure to be here on behalf of the governor today. The governor has been extremely pleased to hear that we are moving forward on a major highway project that means so much to the state, region, and this county. I know he would have loved to be here today to celebrate this special event with you. For everyone that has been involved with this project for the past almost 2 decades, this really is a special moment. I want to congratulate the many public officials, business owners, citizens, organizations, agencies, staff, and there are a lot of you, and other supporters who worked tirelessly on this project. Through the long environmental process, the difficult search for funding, you never gave up hope that it would finally end up, as today, in a celebration of a groundbreaking. That determination has brought us here today. This highway project clearly demonstrates the kind of planning and innovation that will provide significant benefits to the Oregon citizens and businesses. It will reduce congestion and traffic will increase economic activity and competitiveness. It will also reduce fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emissions and other transportation-related pollutants. This highway project makes major contributions to improving sustainability, which is now integrated into all of our statewide transportation initiatives. And the Oregon Department of Transportation has done an amazing work in doing that and integrating that under the leadership of Director Garrett. So I want to thank him as well, because the proof is in the pudding when you actually do the construction of a project, and you will have a better community because of the work that he and his staff have done. So thank you. I would also like to acknowledge the contributions of the Oregon legislature, former Governor Kulongoski, and the many other political leaders of both parties who stepped up to provide that critical support for the Jobs and Transportation Act in 2009. In particular, I would like to thank Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Gary George, and Representative Kim Thatcher, and our congressional delegation over the years for their energy, their leadership, and strong support on this project. And again, congratulations to Yamhill County and its local communities for this important project. The governor looks forward to working with you on completing your entire transportation network, including transit, bikes, and freight. So we must continue to move Oregon forward. Thank you.
It's my honor to introduce our next speaker, Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here today. Congratulations to the Oregon Department of Transportation and to all the community, local, state, and federal partners who made this project a reality. There are too many to name individually because I could stand here and go through this entire crowd and thank all of you, current, past officials, and the community members who have been working on this project for so long. The Newberg Dundee bypass is critical to preserving the quality of life for residents and visitors alike. The commercial success in Yamhill County has been one of those, it's a bit of a mixed blessing because it's brought increased revenue, especially for the wine and hospitality industry and related businesses. But as you know, it's brought some really bad traffic. And that's delayed visitors, residents, created additional air and noise pollution, and it impeded access to many of the businesses along Highway 99. The progress that's been made on this project and the success we're celebrating today exemplifies what happens when we all get together, work hard and long, and cooperate. From the $23 million in funding through Safety Lou in 2005, long before my time, even in the Oregon legislature, the $20 million match from the local communities, including the $4 million from the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. Thank you for your contribution. The Federal Highway Administration's record of decision allowing the project to move forward. And then in 2009, the Jobs and Transportation Act. And I especially want to recognize, again, my former colleagues from the Oregon legislature, Representative Kim Thatcher, but especially Senator Larry George and Senator Bruce Starr, who worked so hard to make sure that this bill got passed. And there's the big check to show for it. I feel kind of badly that this one fell down, or it's down here on the floor, but all the contributions I know will be recognized. So this project is going to bring short and long-term benefits to the county and to the region through the construction jobs while the bypass is being built, through through increased revenue and job growth for local businesses, and of course, the improved quality of life for the residents here in Yamhill County. I want to say I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you, both as I did in the state legislature and in my new role in Congress, to see this project through. So today we're celebrating phase 1. It's been a long time coming, as Director Garrett said. So let's continue to work together and come back soon to celebrate the project's completion. So thank you again. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Congratulations. This is great work. Let's continue to work together and enjoy the celebration. Thank you.
At this time, I've been asked to read a letter from U.S. Senator Ron Wyden, which was prepared and delivered this morning. And I'll try not to butcher this. This is what happens when you have an engineer up in front of a bunch of people. Dear Commissioners, Mayor, and honored guests, good afternoon on a wonderful day in Yamhill County. Although I am unable to join you today, I would not and could not miss the opportunity to extend my deep appreciation and congratulations to all of the citizens of Yamhill County that have worked so hard on this project. Over the years, I have watched, as many of you have, the number of folks who want to live and work in Yamhill County increase, but with this comes a dramatic uptick in traffic. As a result, commerce is affected, families' drive times have been affected, and the safety of people on the road has become a concern. This project, which has been a great effort of the entire community, was brought to the delegation with the same kind of collaborative spirit which exemplifies this community. I want to extend my special thanks to the Yamhill County Commissioners who have worked tirelessly to get us to this place. Everyone has understood that the Newberg Dundee bypass would take some time to complete. This project is yet another step forward, and it is a great honor, along with my congressional colleagues, to have provided the federal support for this important project. Congratulations on making this project a reality. Sincerely, Ron Wyden, United States Senator. Very nice message. Our next speaker is State Senator Larry George.
Well, I appreciate the invitation to be here today. ODOT staff called me up and said, we want you to come speak. And I said, really, and especially looking in front of this crowd, the hard work that so many of you have put literally decades in, and you're stuck with politicians talking to you, when really the hard work was done by the communities, all in Yamhill County and really all the way down to the coast. And there's so many people to recognize, obviously our 3 county commissioners and Commissioner Lewis for her tenacity and continue to come back and push for the money. But I had the honor over the last couple of years to serve as the vice chair with Congresswoman Bonamici, and her comments made me realize that this is just the start. We have so much to do going into the future. So I was supposed to meet her for lunch in Sherwood at 1 o'clock, and she calls me up and she says, Larry, I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm starting from McMinnville, and I'm stuck in traffic for the next 25 minutes. So I know for going into the future that we're going to have a very strong voice in Congress to get additional funding. But the reality is that Congresswoman Bonamici and I talked about her experience in Washington, D.C. and relating that to the bipartisanship that we saw when we worked together in the Oregon State Senate. And I really want to highlight, from my perspective, the key people who were involved in really getting the dollars to this project. And there was 2, a Democrat and a Republican in the Oregon State Senate, Chair of the Transportation Committee, Senator Rick Metzger, who I don't believe is here today, but Bruce Starr, who was the vice chair of that committee. And in a bipartisan way that you rarely see in politics, Senator Starr and Senator Metzger were brilliantly moved legislation through, bringing a broad group of people along to get a project that I think people could live with. And Senator Starr, we cannot thank you enough. The reality is that as I sat yesterday with former Mayor Chuck Cox in his office, and I said, I got to give some comments, and I need to talk about the people who were involved in making this project work. And we both realized there's almost no way to put that list together. Literally, this has been decades and decades of work. and the mayor and I just were going over the names that we would have to list of all of you and people who are no longer with us. People like Dave Bishop, who served as county commissioner in the Oregon Department of Transportation that moved this project forward. And I was talking to my brother, and it's like I go back in history, and he said, what you need to do is go back in history and look and see like a president who made a speech or something at the time that we started the Newberg-Dundee bypass. So I went back in history and I realized there was a perfect statement that was said by the president at the time that the Newberg-Dundee bypass was first proposed. And it went something like this. 407 years ago, our forefathers brought forth an environmental impact study. But the reality is that for all of you who have served on chambers of commerce and worked on this project, being mayors, city councilors, all of you have been involved, I didn't know exactly how to bring out the community involvement that I've seen and what motivated me. I really only worked on this project really for a limited amount of time, and got to be there when some things got across the line. But I want to kind of use one person as an example that reflects well on this community, and that's Dave Hageberg. And Dave, and I wanted to bring Dave as an example because really he reflects so well on this community, but on so many other people that for all of you who participated in this, Dave is a perfect example of what this community is about and how we work together and how we came together and how this project is now going forward. And Dave, I don't know how to explain to you, really, when you first came and talked to me about, needing to get behind the project, he was tenacious and he never stopped. And I talked to him today and I said, how many years have you been working on this, Dave? And he said, 24 years on the Parkway Committee. And I said, well, how many years before that? He goes, well, at least a few years before that. And the fact is, this project was ready to go when these dollars came available because of people like Dave and the rest of you who serve on the Parkway Committee and its citizens. Dave, honestly, we don't know how to thank you. And for businesses, as you know, we own a business here that does a lot of freight. And what your work has done over the last 25 years is changing the way all of us are going to get our products to market, get to the ports, all of those things. And your work is going to be appreciated for generations to come, and we truly appreciate it. With that, I can't thank enough, obviously, the team that put it together at the legislature to get these things done. And Representative Thatcher, Representative Widener, and Senator Boquist were key in moving these things through. And of course, the governor's staff, everybody was together on this thing. And what I'm saying is going forward, we have to continue to push because this is the beginning. This is not the end. So thank you very much.
And now for our last guest speaker of the day, Leslie Lewis, Yamhill County Commissioner.
Many of you recognize the traffic unjam. I heard that giggle out in the audience. Thank you, Sonny, for this opportunity. It's an enormous thrill to be here today for this groundbreaking celebration and to share this podium with some of our state and federal partners who have made Phase 1 of the Newberg-Dundee bypass happen. Director Matt Garrett, Lynn Peterson, Congresswoman Bonamici, Senator Larry George, Senator Bruce Starr, Representative Kim Thatcher. The words thank you do not begin to describe the heartfelt appreciation of our community. We have already heard today about Phase 1 funding and construction. We have been reminded of this project's critical benefits of reduced congestion, increased traffic safety, job creation, and improving our county's economy and livability. And soon we'll get a chance to use our shovels. Mine's right there. I'm not going to pick it up. And we're going to get to turn some dirt. But I want to take a few moments to talk about the local perspective and the incredible journey that our community has taken to make this day a reality. Governor Tom McCall once said, "Heroes are not giant framed statues against a red sky. They are people who say, 'This is my community, and it's my responsibility to make it better.'" Before me, I see all your shining faces. I see this field filled with heroes. You cared about your community, and you helped make this groundbreaking a reality. Thousands of you signed petitions to the governor, the state legislature, to Congress. Hundreds of you wrote support letters. Hundreds of you donned orange vests, remember these? And rallied on the Capitol steps or walked the halls of the state legislature or Congress. Many of you contributed financially to the environmental studies and our lobbying efforts. And each of you who has contributed your time and your talents to help build this bypass, you're each a hero to me. And you know, together we've been wildly successful. We've completed 2 environmental studies, lots of land use actions. We've raised over $230 million in state and federal funds to construct phase 1, where you're standing right now, of the Newberg Dundee bypass. Thank you all so very much. This project is about partnerships. Partnerships in decision making, partnerships in lobbying, partnerships in funding. These partnerships include you as individuals, our local businesses, local organizations like our chambers and downtown associations, our hospitals, our universities, our dedicated public servants, county and city managers, planning staff and planning commissions, law enforcement, fire departments, mayors, city councilors, and of course my co-commissioners, Kathy George and Mary Stern. State legislators, past and present. Again, thank you, Senator Starr, Senator George, key advocates for the $192 million, and Representative Thatcher, who's also been introduced today. Our congressional delegation, again, past and present. Thank you, Congresswoman Bonamici and Senator Wyden for the letter. Appreciate it. And I also want to thank all the ODOT officials that we've worked with and all of their consultants. Tim Potter, Kelly Amador, you deserve special recognition today. And of course, the Federal Highway Administration, Emily and Michelle, thank you for being here. And the Oregon Transportation Commissioner, the Governor, and of course, all of our colleagues at MWAC. Every one of you is a hero to me. But you know, the one constant, and it's already been mentioned this morning, that has held us all together on this project for the past 24 years is the Yamhill County Parkway Committee. Longtime county residents will tell you that aspirations to build this bypass began as early as the 1950s. In fact, I think I have a map from you, Ken Austin, from the 1950s. But the real start of this amazing journey began in 1988 when the county commissioners described their vision of a new road, a 55-mile-per-hour parkway through Yamhill County, connecting the Portland metro area and the Oregon coast. And the county commissioners appointed the Parkway Committee, and they gave them this mission statement in part get this road built, but do it in a, quote, coordinated, cooperative, consensus-building effort of all of the affected cities and counties. In October 1988, the commissioners officially appointed those first Parkway Committee members and selected Dave Hageberg, a McMinnville businessman and transportation advocate, as chair. Dave continues as chair today and is the longest-serving member of the committee. I would like all of the current and past members of the Parkway Committee to stand up and be recognized. Please stand up, all of you. You are all truly my heroes. Well, I mentioned the state and the federal funding, but there was one final piece of the funding puzzle to make Phase 1 construction possible, and that was a $20 million local match. You've already heard a little bit about that today. Well, we kicked off the effort on that. Dave Hageberg and some of the Parkway Committee members approached the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, and I thank Chris Mercier for being with us here today. And of course, I thank your canoe family for being here as well, and Siobhan, wherever you are. And Dave worked with the tribe, and the Parkway Committers worked with the tribe, and we secured a $4 million contribution from the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde. And then just this summer, the city councils of Dundee, Newberg, McMinnville, and the 3 Yamhill County Commissioners all unanimously agreed to each fund a proportionate share of the remaining $16 million of the $20 million match for Phase 1 construction. Unanimous. That's truly a remarkable achievement. So in a moment, I know we'll have Chris Mercier up here for the tribe, and we'll have the mayors up here to join me. And so those of you who are wondering why the one check is lying down, there's a good reason. So we'll have those folks up here in a moment for the presentation. I also think Dave Hageberg needs to be here with us. We would not be here without you, Dave. But first, in closing, we have much to look forward to the future. In 2016, we'll have a ribbon cutting for this roadway. And then we're going to get about the business of revitalizing our downtowns of Newberg and Dundee. And then we've got hundreds of empty industrial acreage zoned land in McMinnville, Dayton, Sheridan, and other cities in our county. And we're going to, with this road, be able to develop that industrial land and create family wage jobs for our county. And of course, we need to finish the rest of this 11-mile Newberg-Dundee bypass. Now, many communities around this state, probably around this nation, would find all of those tasks daunting, right? But not us. You are all heroes, and together we'll get these tasks done, one shovel at a time. Thank you all. Oh, and you know, I have to, someone giggled about the traffic unjam. Years ago, Mayor Cox made traffic jam, and it was jam. And it had a cute label on it that said, net weight, hard to say, because you're stuck in a mixture of trucks and other vehicles that can't go anywhere. And so I have to give credit where credit's due. Cheryl Kelsch had this idea, well, what about syrup? And we could call it unjammed. So former Mayor Cox made traffic unjam. We have boxes of them over here. So let's be sure all of our dignitaries get their traffic unjam. But then I want everyone else to have one if there's enough to go around. And the label says, this new improved unjam is made from the finest community ingredients, cooperation, patience, and hard work. It's excellent for those who have had to wait for so many years. Thank you again. Okay, so, all right, in no particular order. Mayor Bob Andrews, Mayor Ted Crawford, Mayor Rick Olson, Dave Hageberg, Chris Mercier from the tribe. Let's get up and do our presentation. Oh, down. They went down. All right. Short people in the middle. It's our pleasure to present this check. Director Garrett was joking about getting things cashed. This is one you probably ought to cash pretty quick before we change our minds.
Very good.
Director Garrett, this check is for you.
Excellent, outstanding. I will take this and we will spend it wisely. I promise you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll get it later. Okay. Well, thank you, Commissioner Lewis, and everyone for that wonderful presentation. And I know exactly what to do with that, and I'll be taking care of that as soon as possible. Before we move out, not outside, but back here for ceremonial groundbreaking, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who helped make today's event a success. And there are several folks who are listed here, and if we missed someone, I apologize, but we do want to mention the Chehalem Park and Recreation District, the Chehalem Valley Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of McMinnville, McMinnville Area Chamber of Commerce, Newberg Public Schools, the City of Newberg, Oregon Mutual Insurance Company, Serendipity Ice Cream and Mid-Valley Rehabilitation. Ice cream. I'll have to scoop that out. Brian Shea, who's a graphic artist. Yamhill County, Northwest Natural, First Federal, and Oregon Mutual Insurance. Cascade Steel, thank you. And in a shameless plug for my own staff, sprinkled among you are folks who have been working on this project for a number of years already and who are pleased and honored to be a part of the future of this bypass. And we, including myself, will do our utmost to deliver this project on time, under budget, and to your standards. So we thank you very much for being here. Those dignitaries and others who would like to participate in the groundbreaking, please come around to the back here, and Lou Torres, our PIO extraordinaire, will lead you through that process. Thank you very much for everyone coming, and what a wonderful day. Thank you.
Doing it on my own time. I sent him some audio anyway. I don't know what. Not necessarily.
Do you want Matt to be in the center? Matt, are you okay being on the side? Get in here. Because you are the center of attention. Wrong. It's their project. There you go. We're just going to build. Come in a little tighter here, guys. Okay, so we all got to stretch in a little bit more. Honey, come on over here.
Yes, honey, we got a shovel right here.
Oh, all right.
Oh, God,
This is a big ground right there. You can shovel grass.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, here we go. All right, we got the one with the bow on it. That's good. Okay, everyone look look at the waving hand right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do another one. On the count of 3. If I don't see your face, there's someone in the background right there. I can't see your face, so you got. There we go. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more for good luck.
Good luck.
Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Thank you. Lou, do you want to try to get the dirt?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we're going to try to shovel the dirt here. Okay, you want to try to throw some dirt? Here we go.
Here we go. Get the dirt. Here we go.